And welcome back to another broadcast here on Rio Sports Live as we're coming to you from Seguin, Texas on another afternoon of basketball at the regional final as we are getting set for the Cole Cougars to take on the Marion Bulldogs. I'm Joe Bowling with you, my wife Dahlia on the camera. Two teams out taking their warm-ups. You see the Cole Cougars and now you see the Marion Bulldogs. Both come in after victories on last night's semifinals. Two games that had a much different storyline as we played that one out on our broadcast. The Cole Cougars victorious in the late game last night, 53-35 over the London Pirates in that game. They were led in scoring by Silas Livingston, who had 23 points. Trey Blackmore had 13 and Dre Ray had 13 as well. But the real story in that game, after the Livingston 23 points, including 7 3-pointers, was just the defensive presence that this Cole Cougar team brought to the table. They only allowed London to score 6 points in the first quarter. That kind of set the tone. And then in the fourth quarter, in a close game, they clamped down and limited London to just 5 points in that 53-35 win. So the score was a much wider margin than what it was looking into the beginning of the fourth quarter. But the Cole Cougars brought out a whole nother realm of defense to close that one down. Meanwhile, the Marion Bulldogs, double overtime win yesterday in their semifinal against the Bishop Bulldogs. 4 players in double figures in that contest. Kadeem Blyden and Reich Autry with 21 points apiece. To lead the way, Richard Reyes had 11 points. Dom Castellanos had 10, and right behind them was Fernando Romero, who had 9 points. That game had lead changes multiple times, including double-digit leads for both teams at one point in time, and then Bishop ended up leading by 9 late in the game in the fourth quarter when Marion went on just a dominating run to close out the fourth and send it into overtime. In the first overtime period, both teams scored 10 points apiece, and then in the second overtime, it was Marion just shutting down Bishop, beating him 14-4 in that second overtime for the 77-67 victory. And here tonight, you're taking a look at the Marion Bulldogs, looking at a team in Cole that on paper, you look at it, just 3 guys were the primary reason why they scored points, and the biggest one was Silas Livingston, who ended up with 23 points, 7 3-pointers. Well, Marion proved last night that they were able to overcome a team with a prolific scorer. Donnie Thomas for the Bishop Badgers ended up with 31 points in that game, and Marion just kept coming. They've got multiple guys that can score. Can Marion handle the defense that Cole's going to bring to the table? That's the biggest question in this one. This score gets rolling up and down, you got to believe that Marion's got enough scores to keep it going. If it gets in the 60s or 70s, as far as the points needed to win this game, then you look at, does Silas Livingston have some help from teammates other than Trey Blackmore and Dre Ray to contribute in the scoring department just to keep pace, or does Livingston need to go off on one of those 40, 45-point nights to send his team to the next level? The winner of this one, the regional tournament championship game, will be playing in San Antonio next week. We are here for the broadcast of this championship game. From Seguin, Texas, I'm Joe Bowling with you. And we'll be back with more on our pregame show here on Rio Sports Live.
With Ms. Castillo, she made it very easy, very friendly, and she walked me every step of the way. I couldn't have done it without their help.
Music lovers, you have to stop and see the assortment of records, tapes, and records memorabilia at Forever Memories today. Located at 237 North Sam Houston in San Benito, Texas, there's over 10,000 records on display and more coming every day. Looking for your favorite album from the past? first pressings, collectibles. How about a 45 with a single you just have to have? Freddie Fender, Johnny Cash, Hank Williams, Elvis, Beatles, blues, rock, classics, Tejano, it's all here. Organized and priced for you, forever.